One of the common questions that I get as a veterinarian is, when is it time to say goodbye to my pet? It's a well-known fact, though hard to accept, that our pets don't live as long as we do. In fact, they don't even live as long as we want them to. We would love for them to be our companions for many more years than their bodies actually last. Unfortunately, their organs can fail, they can get diseases, they can suffer much longer than they should. Our pets have no voice. They can't tell us when they're suffering. We have to be their voice, and we have to make those hard decisions for them. And so I want to go over a couple of key principles that I follow when counseling with pet owners about when it is time to say goodbye and go ahead and provide euthanasia service. A pet has to have a few basic functions of life, and to be able to perform these functions easily without pain or suffering or too much effort in order to have good quality of life. The first one has to do with eating and drinking. Many times as a pet ages and begins to suffer with these chronic diseases, they'll stop eating, or they'll eat less. They'll lose weight. Often, with some of these conditions, we can see actually an increase in drinking water. So the fact that your pet is drinking does not necessarily mean that they're doing well. If they're drinking a lot more than they're used to, then that actually could be a sign of a chronic disease. Another sign that things are getting bad is that the pet is no longer using their bathroom appropriately. For dogs, they're having accidents in the house. For cats, they're going outside the litter box. A couple of final things that I'll watch for as far as having good quality of life. One is the ability to move around. Often with age, arthritis becomes a major concern. Once an animal, a dog or a cat, is getting into their teenage years, even younger for some of the large giant breed dogs, we can see arthritis begin to affect them severely. At first, it's just slower moving, maybe less willingness to jump up on a bed or on the couch, jump up into the car, difficulty getting up the stairs. Eventually, it becomes difficult for them to move around at all, and that can lead back to the problems using the litter box for cats or going outside for dogs. One other note that I'll mention is breathing. Often with heart conditions or problems with lungs or elsewhere in the body, we can have difficulty breathing. And this is really a kind of an emergency situation. If they're having difficulty breathing and having to work really hard to breathe, then it really is getting time to take drastic interventions, either to fix the problem or to be humane and end their suffering. So those are a few key points that I follow, a few principles that I follow to determine whether it's actually time to let our pets go. It's hard to do. It's a decision that does not come easily. It's not one that I take lightly, but it's something that we have to be mature as the caretakers of these precious animals and make the best choice on their behalf.